Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to L&D Insights, a live interview series with the who's who of learning and development. In today's knowledge capsule, we have with us Kavery NJ, lead digital and analytics at Strides Arcolab, an experienced professional in L&D with demonstrated history of working in the pharma industry. Kavery is a young firebrand leader with a mission to upskill the workforce. Kavery, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lahari. Thanks for the introduction. Glad to be part of this event. Welcome you all.
Thank you so much, Kaveri. So looking back on the past 1 year, the COVID-19 pandemic did more than disrupt our way of working. Right from the things of or what we were used to in our normal working way, it disrupted everything almost overnight. In short, what it did for employers and employees is it changed the way the world looked at skilling, working, and learning. For employers, it meant looking at newer skills that were fit for the digital economy that we are working in. For employees, it meant upskilling for the new skills that came up because of the new skill gaps that were created. So all in all, today, more than ever, the need to upskill and work in the digital world of work is grave as it was never before. But the path has not been as straightforward as we would have ideally liked it to be. Just as I said, over the past 1 year, we have been adapting and evolving and even adjusting to the virtual world of work and its several manifestations, meaning that we have had to even upskill for the newer gaps that got created. So, Kaveri, I think a good place to start this conversation would be to address how can the workforce respond to this changing world of work?
So this question is something which is very dear to me. So when we consider the workforce, mainly we have five generations of workforce in the workplace now. So, and we had several revolutions, right? When we see industrial revolution, technology revolution, and social revolutions. So the most common association the employee have about this phrase, that is, the changing world of work, is the rise of automation, the potential impact on labor market. And the most common imaginary that we see is robots and bots or the chatbots for the social medias. And through that, we often focus on negative impacts. So that is mainly the displacement of workforce by technology. But then the reality is, skilling is a global concern. It is not that skilling is organization specific. So it is a global, or everyone are facing this issue. So if you look at the advances in technology are so widespread that one need not work in so-called tech sector to be impacted by them. Even traditionally, non-tech organizations are becoming technology companies. They are embracing data analytics and new skills, the newer technologies as well. So with the organization changing so rapidly, it's natural that skills from their employees are also changing at the same pace, and for a fact that every one of us have that skill gap. So the if I have to quote a few reasons for these skill gaps are: job roles are continuously evolving, so which is nothing but which is creating the need for new skills for the same job. And for roles are job roles are no longer relevant. That's something wherein I can tell you the use of technology is making many jobs redundant. And also, if we look at the third pointer, that is, job roles are continuously being created. The reasons are advances in technology, plus rapidly changing socio-economic dynamics. New jobs are added to the landscape. Example, if we see user experience designer, VR managers, we did not have all of these roles 5-10 years back. So with this also, one more important thing is whatever skills we learn, on an average the shelf life of the skill is less than 5 years. So with this, if we have to address the problem, the some of the approaches which I can relate is to get an understanding on where I currently stand in my expertise, and what are the planned approaches to reach the desired skill level. So that's A. Second thing is getting the skilling plan linked to job role, having IDP created, updating it constantly, not having it created um, and updating it towards the end. Third thing would be to take proactive efforts while organization is doing their bit. The onus is on us to take the courses from other sources as well. Like we have, the courses which are launched by Government of India. SWAYAM we have, NPTEL have. To quote a few, we have PMKVY, Prime Minister KVY Yojana, AIM, Future Skills Prime, and these are the ones to advance the goal of making India, and also India mission. So with this, if for the workforce, if time management is a concern, then one need not carve out extra time, as the pandemic has hit us, and during this hour, we can convert the travel time into the learning time. So here I would say learning agility is the key. One has to leverage the whatever the available resources on their own merit, and drive self. So with that, organization will provide the platform, provide enablement, encourage to some extent, but then it's individual who has to do it. What we learn today, if we do not add to it, if we do not pivot to the new changes which is happening, there is no way that one can stay or remain relevant. Yeah.
There's so many points you said there, Kaveri, the shrinking shelf life of skills, which means any skill that you are learning today may not even be in play tomorrow, which means you have to continuously keep learning and gaining more to your arsenal. Another thing you said is that while organizations will be responsible for giving you the learning platform or the necessary resources for your learning, the onus is still on us to be in the driver's seat and take charge of our own learning. In my opinion, while on one hand, there was a definitely big change for employees as they waded through these uncharted waters, let's talk about the businesses too. Because for most businesses, thriving or even surviving in the new normal has been a struggle. On one hand, there was a cash flow situation, and in this cash flow situation, they had to make investments for learn technology or even employee capability development, which I believe must have been a difficult or a tight spot to be in. So, Kaveri, I'm curious to know how can businesses address the need for upskilling with Learn Tech, knowing that in the new normal, the skills, as we've been talking about, will be needed?
So a lot of organizations today are looking at upskilling of their workforces to meet their current challenges and also the future ones. So, and for that fact, if I have to take my organization as an example, that's Arcolab, we're constantly working on this piece of upskilling of our employees. See, COVID pandemic has accelerated the need to focus on upskilling. So the approach, which we can take as an organization, uh, we need to chase the unstated need of the employees. It could be assessing the employees on what skills will be needed in the future. That's mainly the skill gaps through the self check tools with the proper planning. So these are the online check, or else we can have it implemented in the for the organization itself. Second one is through the competency management module that shows the learner his or her career path or skill gaps that need addressing. With that, having a role-based learning and having a framework for curated learning, which is made available on learning platform. Mostly the modern learning platform has all these options. So making use of that will really help. Third most important point, which I want to quote here, is reinventing learning strategies and embedding learning culture in organization DNA. Through there are several ways. One is if you have to use the that's learn tech, then we can have gamification module. We have a leaderboard, discussion forums that are in the LMS, which infuses competitive spirit. In the among the learners across organization. Fourth point, what I want to we can where we can address this is rather providing the courses that's one size fits all through AI powered LMS, ensuring courses are personalized and it's unique to each employees, specific to their situation, is something which we can do through AI powered LMS. It's a great help in enabling this as it constantly learns the learner behavior and recommends content. So having high quality, relevant and meaningful content on key competencies, either mapped to their IDPs or CPD of the learners. So this content can be made also available more on the just in time learning anytime. We do not want, because we see manufacturing people do not have access to their laptop, then they can make use of anywhere anytime learning through mobile apps. Again, mobile apps nowadays are the learning learn tech that offers you offline learning and integration with other tools and softwares which we can make use of. So adding to this, helping employees on what are those skills that's gonna be relevant and making it transparent is something which organization has to look into. They can carve out a learning journey aligned to the organization goals, business goals, and individual aspirations. So when I say the word transparent here, I would mean first thing is the relearn. That is, what is there today, what are the skills that's there today which will sunset, and b what are the core skills, what is there today, and the third one would be the invest skills, which we're going to invest in the future. So these three things should be made very transparent to the employees, which will help them to a great extent. Next one, engaging employees to use self-assigned option, which we have it in our modern LMSs now. Training, giving that opportunity for the learners to request the trainings which they want to attend on LMS. Managers assigning courses to their employees, which they feel are relevant. So these are the some of the ways which we look at upskilling perspective. Again, upskilling cannot be done in isolation as it may not work. We need to do this along with the business teams, connecting learning to the business strategy rather than L&D strategy.
All valid points there. There are so many features that you called out in a modern learning management system or an LXP, whichever way you want to look at that. But at the very core of everything is learning technology will definitely be the needle mover for you. But let's be very honest. I think even with learning technology being such a game changer, the shift has not been easy for all, especially for organizations that had very traditional training modalities. You can link this to our human brain, perhaps, where it tries to keep us in the familiar zone at all times, or maybe it's just our natural affinity to learn in a social setting. Either way, the shift from, I think, ILT, which was classroom training, something that most of us were used to VILT, which is more virtual enabled, has been a bit of a struggle. So, Kaveri, what do you think organizations can do to transition successfully from ILT to VILT?
So pandemic has brought about entire need to see how we can leverage digital learning, right? So Zoom webinars, MS Teams, I can say Skype sessions were there earlier as well, mostly for connecting with the external partners or external business stakeholders, all of that. But then the adoption took place because we got forced to do it, right? So for some of the program, we see traditional classroom training is still the preferred mode of training. And to take it to the next level, organization with workforce that operates remotely or is spread across geographies or constantly on the move have seen the value offered by VLT. So that's one successful point. Now, going to the second point, which I want to make is taking the traditional classroom online. The best possible solution is to have hands-on and immersive approach. So for this, a organization has to accept and adapt VLT as a new way of learning. B, another key is to have intelligent curriculum design. That is, see, we need not create content all over from the beginning. We can curate it or remodel to the VC settings. C, we can to ensure learners are comfortable with the platform. Have several demo sessions or the VC sessions with them, so they're comfortable in handling the technology. D, have a flipped classroom. That means embedding VLT sessions in a larger supporting framework of elements, where support elements create an individual learning space for learners, right? Group interactions are used as a platform for applying concepts and engaging creativity with the support matter as such as learning labs, assessment, quizzes, case studies, demonstration, structured business simulations in practice environment. These will help in moving from the ILT to VLT successfully. Yeah.
Great tips, and I'm sure everyone will benefit from those. So far we have seen that a learn tech platform, whatever you want to call that, is essential piece of your upskilling puzzle. So that's number one. Second is you definitely need to have a mix of ILT and VILT. ILT not so much these days, but VILT definitely for holistic training and development. Third is that you need to learn new skills and maybe reskill on some existing ones, which is a non-negotiable. With all of these said and done, I think still for employees to make time for upskilling, to prioritize that as a part of their daily to do or their weekly to do, whatever it may look like, is still not as easy. Mainly because there is a real need, there is a real talk of digital fatigue or learner fatigue, and we need to also be mindful of those things, especially when we talk of compliance training and we compare upskilling. I think sometimes the choice is fairly easy because compliance training may look like something that can attract possible penalization, and people may prefer that to upskilling, the upskilling piece, which ideally is essential for you to get ahead and be in sync with the times. So, Kaveri, how do you think organizations can, have that balance between compliance training and upskilling? Is there a good practice for employees to follow for when they can do one and how can they do it?
This is a little bit a tricky question to answer. So, see, worker and workplaces are constantly evolving, not just owing to the entire business aspect of this VUCA, but also due to the complexity that COVID has thrown at us. So, the need to remain relevant has become important. With that in mind, when it comes to compliance training, as you rightly said, compliance training versus upskilling, if we look at the skills for tomorrow, they are not just not really the technical or the compliance skills, because those skills people will pick up for their roles irrespective of how we provide it to them, right? So whether employees do it on their own or organization mandates it, that will happen because failure to comply can result in catastrophic outcome. So gone are the days where organization used to rely on specialists, the process leads, but now they expect people to have diverse skills, multiple skills, and also cross pollination of people across different teams is becoming the norm. So, with that, soft skills have been identified as the skills of the future and are growing in importance. They transcend individual jobs and cannot be replaced by automation, digitization, and artificial intelligence. So with that, what's needed is the perfect blend of hard skills and soft skills to excel as a successful professional. And also some of the in demand hard skills are, if I want to quote, which turns out to be, with the research, AI, blockchain, cloud computing. And for that factor, if I have to quote some of the soft skills, are communication skills, emotional intelligence, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability, flexibility, dealing ambiguity, collaboration, customer focus. To name a few, these are the important ones. So soft skills have been identified as a skills of the future and are going in importance. That not, but not the last career advancement is a conscious choice, and investment one makes in terms of time, energy, and effort is more important. So let's remember one thing, than just segregating it as the compliance or upskilling. What got us here will not get us there. So upskilling becomes part of business goal. So I would say skills are the currency of success in the new world of work.
Absolutely. I think there is a time and place for both. You just can't trade one for the other if that's the one single summation of everything that you said. To all our listeners, here's a quick message for you. If you're looking to take your learning and development from good to great, stop by at UpsideLMS.com for a chat with our learning solution experts. Our AI powered LMS and curated library of off the shelf e learning content will wow you. That's a promise from us. So, Kaveri, with that, we have come to the end of the show. But before I let you go, I have a very fun, interesting question, and this is with a point of view of getting to know you better. Is there one skill that you are very proud to put on your resume, and one that maybe you would want to give a skip? We are curious to know that.
Um, so one skill that I want to put in my resume is digital, I can say, analytics, and that which I want to improve is upselling.
That's a very, very candid answer. Thank you so much, Kaveri, and thank you everyone for your time. We are going to be with you back on 20th May with a different guest. Until then, stay safe and be good.